What's up, baby? Today's show is sponsored by Southern New Hampshire University. Yeah, we talking about proper preparation. We're talking about trying to be better at life. How can we improve, right? Whether we're talking about just as an individual, how do we improve if we're talking about in the job space? I mean, whether we're talking about just all the different ways to be prepared for the next step, for that next task. Southern New Hampshire University and some of these online degree programs that they are offering. Come on, baby. You can't beat this. And they have super competitive low tuition rates that are, like I said, going to prepare you for whatever your next steps might be as it pertains to your professional career. It's not too late. I mean, shoot, what you waiting on? I mean, you're watching me, but what you waiting on? Come on, man. You see the link right there, right? snhu.edu/Arthur Moats. Tap in and go out here and get a chance to prepare yourself for greatness. But now it's time for regularly scheduled programming. In terms of the mock draft for with Mel Kiper, obviously he didn't have any type of trades taking place from what I saw. But in terms of where we were at, currently sitting at 21st overall in the draft. In his mock, he has us taking Emeka Egbuka, the wide receiver out of Ohio State. And what he said was the last time the Steelers took a wide receiver in round 1 was 2006 when they drafted Santonio Holmes at number 25. But unless things drastically change in free agency, Pittsburgh has to break that streak. There aren't enough reliable pass catchers in this offense. The Steelers don't have a surefire wide receiver 2 behind George Pickens, and the offense isn't going to improve until they do something there, no matter the quarterback. Egbuka caught 6 passes for 64 yards in Monday's national championship, putting him over 1,000 yards on the season. And it was the second time in the past 3 years where he's caught double-digit touchdowns. He also says that he's a great route runner with speed and a nice ability to eat up targets, to eat up a ton of targets as well. So how we feeling on it, Deke? How we feeling about young Emeka Egbuka?
Do you know what other receivers were available?
Yes. All right. At the time, only 2 receivers had gone off the board before him. They both went in the top 10. Tatarian McMillan, he had him going at 6 overall. T-Mac to the out of Arizona to the Las Vegas Raiders, and then he had Luther Burden going at 12 to Dallas. That's the other receiver out of Mizzou. All right. So they had Emeka as the 3rd overall receiver off the board. And then the other receivers that were currently remaining in the first round.
What other guys were taken after him, though?
That's what I'm looking. No, that's what I'm checking.
Not even just receivers.
Oh, okay. Because there were no other wide receivers taken after him. They had Colston Loveland, the tight end out of Michigan. He went 22nd to the Chargers. Harbaugh connection. At 23, they have Mike Green, the young pass rusher out of Marshall, going to the Packers. At 24, Benjamin Morrison, the cornerback out of Notre Dame, obviously to the Vikings because we know R.I.P. to Kristen Jackson, passed away tragically this offseason. Kyrie Jackson. Yeah, so that makes a ton of sense. And then at 25, they had Josh Simmons, offensive tackle from Ohio State, going to the Texans. Obviously wants protection down there. Rams, they had Josh Cornerly, the tackle out of Oregon, going there. At 27, they had the Ravens taking Siobhan Revel. He's a corner out of Eastern Carolina. At 28, the Detroit Lions were taking outside linebacker James Pierce Jr., outside linebacker out of Tennessee. Commanders, they had them taking Nick Scorton, is a DN, Texas A&M. The Bills at 30th overall. Maxwell Hairston, cornerback, Kentucky. I think that's a great pick. I like that dude. That sounds like a great pick. I don't even know if it sounds like a great pick, though.
Yeah, I was going to say, how come any of these other guys didn't get, a PA announcer?
Don't do me like that, D.
Type of
Don't
voice.
do that, D. Don't do that, bro. I was reading the name off, man. It was in bold print when I read it. I don't know why it was bold like that. Kansas City Chiefs at 31 overall. Ooh, why they at 31, not 32?
Kiper, big Eagles guy.
Okay, Kiper, you see that? Oh, okay. But he has them taking Walter Nolan, defensive tackle out of Ole Miss, and then Philly. Bro, Philly don't need another D lineman. He got them taking Kenneth Grant, the D tackle out of Michigan. So those were the guys that were remaining.
I was going to say, actually, if anything of the guys that were taken after, it's probably those 2 D tackles at the very end.
The Michigan dude, I like him a lot. Yeah.
Yeah, so maybe you could trade back to get one of those guys if you wanted to.
And in terms of
Ibuka, he is. I think after him, there's a little bit of a drop off.
Okay.
So I'm fine with taking him there. I like Burden though a lot. Hopefully he drops to us at 20.
Luther's nice.
I think he's like the epitome of a Steeler receiver.
Okay.
And what we're looking for.
Okay.
He does. He looks like a cross between like Holmes, AB.
Mm-hmm.
He's got that physicalness, got that toughness, kind of like Hines Ward, that type of stuff. I think he's the guy we should be looking for. But he went 12.
What about homie out of Texas, Matthew Golden?
He's all right.
And was it Alec Manure?
Yeah.
I remember when he cooked up on Travis Hunter and them boys out in Colorado, 23. Past year he still was good, but quarterback wasn't that.
I'd be fine with that draft pick if we don't sign anyone in free agency. I think it's fine. He looks good.
Yeah.
Obviously, he's not Jeremiah Smith, but
he's still a silky smooth player, man.
Right.
Like, I just don't think he's as twitchy as like when you watch Luther Burden. Like Luther jumps off the screen. That's why we all like Luther. T-Mac, he got the size and the long stride and stuff like that, leaping ability. That's why people like him. But when I look at Emeka, man, I think he's a smooth route runner. I think that he creates a lot of separation, but some of that is due to the matchups. They play him backside or he'll be in that slot because, like you brought up, they got Jeremiah Smith. That's the dude that's the one-on-one, dude. So with Emeka, you just see him middle of the field carving up dudes when you try to run that Tampa 2 defense. He's cooking any of the middle linebackers trying to run with him. He understands how to sit down versus zone, does a good job versus man in terms of understanding how to create separation at the top, getting in and out of his breaks. And like I said, I like how he catches the football. I gotta watch more though to see like how good of a hands catcher he is. Like I've seen some plays where I'm like, yo, you're trapping it more so than like plucking it out the air. Think about how GP goes and gets it. Like I'm looking at that part, and just like you said, man, I'm still early on with him, but I do like him a lot. But I could definitely see where some of his production, especially this past year, was due to the matchup that he was getting. And all you can do is control what you can control. When you got a Jeremiah Smith on your team, that's the guy that plays out there because he's the best guy. But you can see where he would make it look gory versus these other dudes, and that's why I think, I can see why Mel would project him to be our guy in the first.
Yeah, he's not as exciting as Jeremiah Smith. He hasn't been the most exciting Ohio State receiver over the past 4 or 5 years either.
You got Marvin Harrison over there, yeah.
But you got, guys like Chris Olave, Jackson Smith and Jigba. He gets drafted to Seattle. He's been.
They're good players.
Yeah,
they're
he's been
receivers.
Like,
They're
really good
pros.
Yeah, right. And I wouldn't expect anything different from Ibuka.
Yeah, I think he transitions well. I definitely do. My hesitancy right now, before I watch more and more tape on him versus the field, is he a 1 or am I getting a 2? You know what I mean? Because I really want a 1. But if he is just a 2, then I'd gonna go get me something in free agency on top of that. But I like him though. I definitely like him. But that's like where I'm at with him right now early on.
If Pickens gets everything together, you don't need a 1.
Yeah, I'm with you on that.
And that's kind of what I was liking about Luther Burden, because you can have those questions about him.
It's a heck of a compliment, bro.
Yeah, he'd be a great compliment. I think he'd be, because his frame kind of looks. He's bigger than Deontay Johnson, but it's that type of style. It's like that route running style.
I was like
the
the Malik Neighbors type, man, like the quick in and out short area.
They got him listed at 6 foot.
You think he's 6 foot?
They got him listed at that, but
I ain't think that man was 6 foot. Fair. I ain't think that. His short area quickness is filthy though.
Right.
He makes a lot of guys miss and not a lot
He's
of
a
room,
physical
man.
receiver too.
Yeah. Catch the ball,
That's
man.
kind of what I thought of with Garrett Wilson when he was coming out. Like Garrett Wilson, I think they have him listed at 6 foot too.
Yeah.
But he looks smaller than that. But he goes up and high points the ball. He's still a physical receiver. Like he'll catch it in traffic.
Do you feel like we're going back to the Young Money style receivers though? If you bring in a Luther type body type with a Calvin Austin type body type with the Roman Wilson type body type, these we getting tiny again, man.
As long as Pickens does his thing, it doesn't matter to me. Because Pickens is the one
Pickens
thing. Like that style receiver is something we were missing from the Young Money.
I would agree,
and that's the thing I kept calling for.
He's the Martavis. If Martavis,
let's get Ben another Plexico in here. We tried with Lima Swede, and that was an absolute bust. And we tried again with Martavis. and that didn't work out either.
Couldn't get out his own way. That's fair.
But at least we got a Pickens to be that like main guy.
Yeah.
Like the Bills, you look at their receivers, none of them are like that big or tall.
You know I'm with you,
The
baby.
quarterback play was good though. So if Fields is who I think he can be, or if Russell Wilson can play good, then I'm not too concerned about the height stuff.
Okay.
Not too concerned. Can Luther Burden play on the outside? Can Deontay was able to play on the outside even though he wasn't like the tallest. Santonio Holmes, AB, Hines Ward, they could play on the Hines Ward a little bit more slot, but
I think
they could all play on the outside and hold their own.
And I think the reason too with Luther why they still haven't projected higher than the Emecas or some of the guys with a little bit more sizes, he creates separation in a hurry. And when you have them type of dudes that can just flat out win one-on-ones, that's quarterback friendly. That's the Deontay approach. That's the AB. That's the Tyreek, man. You win in right now off the line. It's easy to get this to you and now go be the guy. I did have a little concern though. I ain't gonna lie to you, Deke. I was watching some of his games. I haven't seen enough to know all the way, but I've seen just these little he's not a character guy, is he? Because I was seeing certain things.
You mean a good character guy?
I was seeing certain things on the tape, and I was just
are we drafting another GP?
Bro,
I said he has Steeler receiver written all over him.
I was like, yo.
He's definitely got that dog in.
You're doing certain things that's making my PTSD pop up, all right? I've been around a couple of you Steeler receivers before my time, all right? You
it's just perfect pick.
You're doing certain things. Your mannerisms, post-play, you got some of that stuff.
I'm glad you brought that up. Maybe
I just didn't know. I was like, am I just seeing it, or is somebody else seeing this, bro?
I'm glad you brought that up. Maybe,
yeah, I'm just,
if I want the Steelers to change, if I want us to turn over a new leaf, maybe we can't be drafting receivers like this.
You see, Deke, you see the same. I'm like, hey, bro, it's dope, but I don't. That's a flag and a fine, and a flag, and that's a fine. And I mean, I like your energy. You're not backing down from anything, but that's a flag. Yeah, bro, that'd be a fine too. Yeah, I'm just shout out to Deke. Deke's all right. But he's so talented, and that's super talented. Super duper talented, bro.
Nah, maybe
Mr. Rooney says you need one of them in your room, though.
Oh, we would have two then.
That does throw off the balance a little bit. Yeah.
We would have two.
Yeah.
For sure.
But he nice, though, bro.
We've had too many years.
But he nice, though, bro.
Recent where we've had two guys at the same time.
Yeah.
I mean, hell, we didn't know it exactly at the time, but it was Pickens' rookie year. It was Pickens, Claypool, and Deontay all together.
We just say that was the baby form of it. We ain't really know what
Claypool
it was all the way.
Juju on the team at the same time.
We was playing with fire. We've had a
AB, Juju,
and Martell. I'm like, all right. I would say, yeah, we done had some rooms, bro. We done had some rooms, man.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, it fits. The Luther Burden pick fits. He does look like a Steeler receiver. Feisty.
No, I get everything makes so much more sense of why you said he likes the. When you said it, I was like, all right, I don't know where that came, but all right, I can see that Deke. And now here more, I'm like, yep, 1,000% still receiver, bro. 1,000%, yep.
Like I said, combo of like Santonio, AB.
Mm-hmm.
He's got the Hines Ward little toughness to him.
He got that. Yeah.
We already got our big guy on the outside with Pickens. So.
But where do you find that without the crazy, without that edge? That's part of what Coach Tom was talking about when he said,
maybe it's a good kind.
But how do you
Joey Porter, good kind?
But that's not a wide receiver. It's a different mentality when you're playing defense.
We need
versus
someone
offense.
to step up and start being a leader on this team, on this offense. Maybe it's Luther Burden. Maybe it's like a good crazy. We need something like that, man.
GP's following in line too.
Someone's got to give with him.
You catch what I'm saying? I'm like, I don't know if I want another bring that in with. I need good guy. Where's the choir boy?
I trade Pickens for Higgins or something. I don't know.
If I brought in Higgins, then I could bring in a Bird. I can see that. I think that offsets the balance a little bit. Calvin Austin's a good guy. Roman Wilson, good guy. I can see that. I can see that.
Yeah, I saw an interview from Burden where they asked him like what receiver he replicates his game after, or like who's he look to. He says no, and he said they should be looking at me.
Come on. Oh yeah, that's shit. I forgot. I think I was watching.
Confident.
I don't remember if it was Texas A&M game I was watching him, or it was another one. I was watching this couple games with him. Man, he makes a play and it's like he throws the ball at the DB's head. It's like super close proximity. It hits him in the head with the ball. Pop. And then he tries to like play dumb, like, oh man, I don't know what happened to the ball. I'm like, hey fam, what you doing, bro? Like, dude, bump him. He ready to bump him back. Like he ain't going for nothing. He got the Steve Smith. It's the little man. It's the Steve Smith in him. He got Steve Smith
feel
on
like
him,
Steve
bro.
Smith, good crazy.
No, good crazy if you was his teammate.
Yeah.
Steve,
That's what we need.
But wasn't actually good. He broke one of his teammates' jaw. He broke a teammate's jaw.
Who was that?
Steve Smith. He punched.
No, I mean,
dude
who
in
was
training.
that? When was that?
That was like he was in Carolina. It was the heart of it. It was when D'Angelo was down there. Like it was Steve Smith. You know, it was row your boat. Like when it was celebrating all yeah. He definitely fired on it when it was in training camp. I do remember that because that's what I was thinking of when we was playing against him, and he looked at me all crazy. I'm like, hey Steve, bro, this ain't that, but this ain't that. Like I ain't tripping if you ain't tripping, Steve, but we know you kind of cuckoo. Like we get it. It's like Pac-Man. Steve Smith, Pac-Man, that's like my defense supposed to play crazy, my offense supposed to play crazy.
Yeah, but we don't know. Burden's all the way there.
This is true. He's still early.
I'm just saying though, Steve Smith.
That was a dog.
I was gonna say like
he's a dog.
You would say he was like a leader on that Carolina offense. Like he was awesome.
Honestly, I think he was. I think it was old school
and like,
toughness.
And like you said, like in terms of like in house. Was there any problems outside of maybe that one thing? But
and that one thing from what they say is like it stems from just how competitive he was, and the dude was talking back to him, like barking at him. And he's like, "Yo, he's just that intense, that much of a competitor." Which, man, player to player, I don't have an issue with. Honestly, it's just not everybody is cool with that type of intensity, that type of person being around that all the time. Like it wears on some people. I ain't tripping on it though. Shoot, man, Debo was my not locker mate, but Debo was my roommate and Peace was my coach. Both of them dudes intense as heck, man. So it's like some people you cool with that, other people you not. I like it, man. I'm more comfortable with the turtle people. All right, y'all great. Cool. We know what y'all now.